If you're seeing a Tinkercad corrupted file error, don't panic. In this video, I'll show you the fastest ways to fix it step by step, whether the problem is with an STL, an OBJ, an SVG, your browser session, or even a project that won't open at all. This is a super common issue, and in most cases, you can fix it without starting from scratch. If this video helps, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more simple design tutorials and troubleshooting guides. Let's get into it. First, let's understand what this error usually means. In many cases, Tinkercad is not saying your file is permanently ruined. It usually means the upload got interrupted, or the file contains geometry that Tinkercad can't interpret properly. That can happen when a model has holes, overlapping faces, non-manifold edges, or other issues that make the file mathematically messy. The good news is that there are several ways to fix it. Let's start with 3D model files like STL and OBJ. If Tinkercad flags your model is corrupted, the first thing to try is a repair tool. One option is an online STL repair service like Formware Online STL Repair or Aspos STL Repair. These tools scan your model and rebuild it with a clean outer shell. That helps close gaps, remove stray points, and clean up broken geometry that can trigger the corrupted file message. If you already use Meshmixer, that's another great fix. Open your model in Meshmixer, go to Analysis, then choose Inspector. From there, click Auto Repair All. This tool is especially useful because it finds holes, broken surfaces, and flipped normals. Blue spots usually show holes, and red spots often point to geometry that needs repair. Once you let Inspector fix everything, export the file again and try uploading it back into Tinkercad. Now, let's talk about SVG files, because those can also cause the same error. SVGs often fail when they include embedded images, complex effects, or path data that Tinkercad doesn't like. If you're working in Inkscape, go to File and use Cleanup Document. This removes unused definitions and hidden extra data that can confuse the import process. After that, select the whole design and go to Path, then Object to Path. This is important because it converts text and editable objects into true vector paths, which Tinkercad is much more likely to read correctly. If the SVG still won't import, there's a simple workaround that often saves the day: the screenshot method. Take a clean, high-resolution screenshot of the black and white design, then use a tracing tool like Vectorizer.ai to generate a fresh SVG from that image. It's not always the first choice, but when a file is badly formatted, this can give you a much cleaner version that Tinkercad can handle. Next, let's check the browser side of things, because sometimes the file is fine and the upload session is what's actually corrupted. Open Tinkercad in an incognito or private window. On Windows, you can usually do this with Ctrl, Shift, and N. If the same file works there, that tells you one of your browser extensions, cache data, or saved session information may be interfering with the upload. If that happens, clear your browser cache and cookies. You can usually do this with Ctrl, Shift, and Delete. Then choose cached images and files and cookies from the last 24 hours or longer if needed. After that, reload Tinkercad and try the import again. Also, rename the file before uploading. Avoid special characters like exclamation marks, hashtags, @signs, emoji, or anything unusual in the file name. Stick with simple letters, numbers, dashes, or underscores. Sometimes a strange file name is enough to trigger an upload problem. Now, if your issue is not an upload, but a Tinkercad project that won't open, there's another fix to try. Go to your Tinkercad dashboard, find the project thumbnail, click the gear icon or settings menu, and choose Duplicate. Then open the duplicated version instead of the original. This works because Tinkercad creates a fresh copy of the project data, and that often bypasses the corruption in the original file. There's also one more thing worth checking, and that's hardware acceleration in your browser. If hardware acceleration is turned off or your graphics card is struggling, the browser can sometimes misread the 3D render and make it look like the file is corrupted when the real issue is just rendering trouble. So if nothing else has worked, check your browser settings and make sure hardware acceleration is enabled. So to recap, if you get a Tinkercad corrupted file error, start by repairing the model, then clean up SVGs, test the browser in incognito, clear the cache, rename the file, duplicate the project if needed, and check hardware acceleration. In most cases, one of those fixes will get your design loading properly again. If this tutorial helped you out, please hit the like button and subscribe for more practical Tinkercad tips, 3D printing fixes, and beginner-friendly design tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.